Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and yesterday we got notice that we were going to have another Fragment fusion coming up. This looks like another good one, guys. It's going to be for Walking Tomb Dreng, and I mean, he looks really good. Obviously, we never know until we fully test him, and I do have access to test server, so I do plan on doing that. But for the moment, we just have his kit to talk about, and it's a pretty good kit. Now, first off, this guy looked to you like one of those bosses from Dark Souls? That's what it looks like to me. I'm seeing some Dark Souls flashbacks right now, which I'm absolutely loving. I just think it's great. That super tall hat of his, the double swords, very nice. So let's look at his kit, what he's got, right? So he's got on his A1, it's an attack on enemy 2 times, instantly activates any HP burn debuffs on the target after attacking. That can be really strong. We know how powerful champions like Ninja, how powerful champions like Sissia are, because they are activating those HP burns. He has that on his A1. That provides a lot of opportunity for some really interesting builds there. Now, it's not an AoE hit, which would be even better, but it's still really, really good. And so I'm actually really interested to see how his kit works with that. Because there's another question we have, and it's going to come up here with this A2 ability. His A2 is an AoE attack, right? Has a 75% chance of placing HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and this debuff cannot be resisted, which is awesome because a lot like someone like Ignatius, we don't need accuracy on him then to land that AoE HP burn. So this is bringing us back to that first point on that A1 skill. Does he need accuracy to activate the HP burn? If he doesn't, that would be amazing and ideal and make this a really, really strong champion. If he does, he's still going to be incredibly strong, but that is going to limit the viability of his kit, because if you want that A1 to work, you'll have to build accuracy, which kind of defeats the purpose of not needing it on the A2. The good thing about not needing it on the A2, though, having that debuff not be resisted means you don't have to worry about weak hits. It means it will land on everybody that you fight. That's really good. So there are some, pluses and minuses going on there. So definitely a cool thing, though. AoE HP burn can't be resisted is always a good skill to have. And then his A3 here is actually really interesting, I think, as well. Equalizes the HP of all allies, then attacks one enemy. The HP level of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. The attack will ignore 30% of the target's defense if the target's current HP is equal to or lower than this champion's current HP, and will decrease the cooldown of Exalted Pyre skill by 1 turn if the target's current HP is higher than this champion's current HP. So what does that mean? There's a lot going on in there, right? So first off, that's a huge heal. Being able to equalize the HP of your allies is massive, especially because this is an HP champion, which means he'll probably have the highest HP on the team, and that can probably give you a full team heal. On top of that, ignoring 30% of the target's defense if their current HP is equal to or lower than this champion's current HP means that, depending on what you're facing, that's a huge defense, that's a huge boost to the damage of the skill. And then, of course, the HP is equal to, and then of course will decrease the cooldown of Exalted Pyre skill by 1 turn if the target's current HP is higher than this champion's current HP, which means against bosses that you're going to be having that Exalted Pyre on cooldown. The cooldown is going to be 1 less every single time you use the skill, pretty much, which is also awesome. Now, it is based off current, not max HP, so that's something to kind of keep in mind. And then the Fortress, this passive ability, reflects 30% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker if this champion has 50% or more HP. That's always good. And it deals 30% more damage instead if this champion has less than 50% HP. So again, these are 2 damage abilities that are probably very strong, especially when we're going against bosses and they're doing strong attacks. We're able to reflect some of that damage back to them, and as we get them lower, we're actually hitting harder along the way. So lots of good stuff along in this thing. Actually, I should say, as we get less HP, we'll hit harder. So, when we're trying to heal up and stuff, that might be really, really good, actually. Also has a nice aura. Increases all ally HP in all battles by 30%. So this guy's a walking HP machine. Big heals, nice carry. That HP burn is really strong. What I'm most curious about, obviously, are those cooldowns. It says 5 turn on Death's Balance. We don't know what the books are going to do. And 4 turn on Exalted Pyre, and we don't know what the books are going to do. It's very possible that those cooldowns will stay. My guess is, though, they'll both probably be reduced by about 1. And that would seem to make sense as far as how these things usually do. Although the Exalted Pyre might stay a 4-turn cooldown, especially because you're getting an additional cooldown from that A3 skill. That's certainly a possibility there. But This is a nice kit. Anytime you can get an AoE HP burn, that's huge. That's going to be massive for spiders. If anybody is struggling in spiders, you 100% want to get this champion, right? 100%. But I think he's also going to be amazing in Doom Tower. Being able to land that HP burn, being able to activate it on the bosses every single time he uses that A1 ability is massive. And then on top of that, he's doing pretty good damage and helping keep your team alive with that A3 skill, with those passive abilities. There's a lot to like there. I could see him being really good even against champions like Baumel or bosses like Baumel. I can see him being really effective, and he's probably going to be really good in Hydra, where it's an unresistible HP burn, so you don't have to worry about that poison cloud. He'll throw that out there, and he's going to keep your team alive by equalizing those HP stats. This guy's good. This guy's going to be very, very good. Even if his damage from his skills isn't super high, I have a feeling that he's going to be somebody that everybody out here is going to want to get and going to be able to utilize for their team. So this is an awesome Fragment Fusion. They keep dropping these really good ones at us back to back. That's why this 10x event this weekend is kind of a trap. They want you to use your shards so that you have to get more for when you're going to want to do this Fragment Fusion. And this should be starting, I think, sometime next week. So yeah, there's going to be, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be pretty nice. I definitely am excited about getting him. I think you all should be too. And he's in Night Revenant, which is a faction that could use a champion like this. So that's good as well. So yeah, lots of crazy stuff kind of happening in game. And I'm pretty jazzed about this guy. I think he's going to be a really good champion for you on your accounts. That I'm really intrigued by that A1 skill. I mean, being able to activate HP burn is such a massive skill and does so much damage. That's really, really nice. And, you know, the unresistible HP burn is also a really good one. This guy could be really good, actually, in Arena, in a Go Second style team, especially if you can pair him with somebody like a Torment, right? Where he gets counterattacked when the freeze and HP burn are out there. That could be really good. That A3 ability, just being able to equalize HP of allies, that's a huge skill. The only other champion that I think has that is Sinesha, also in the Night Revenant faction, but she's not an HP champion. And so it's not as effective. When you build that all into one kit like you can with Walking Tomb Dreng, that makes it a lot stronger. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to test him out and show you guys what he can do. So yeah, look forward to that. Just want to drop that quick vid and info because I hadn't had a chance to cover it today. And that's all we got. So guys, till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.